Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. My name is Taylor. I am the Young Adult and Adult Services Librarian for Little Dixie Regional Libraries. And today I'm going to be talking about the Olympics Challenge. I love the Olympics. I love the Winter Olympics. I'm a big fan of figure skating. This is something I've learned about myself in the last 2 years for reasons that no one can determine. But I love the Olympics. I'm really excited to do this challenge with you guys. The way it's going to work is there are 9 different sports that you can compete in. You have to read a book from 3 of them. There's different categories and things. You can see the full list of categories by signing up for the challenge at ldrl.org/Beanstack or downloading the Beanstack app for iOS or Android. Or you can hang out with me here today and I'll go over what I'll be reading for the challenge and what badges I'll be doing for those different books. So here we go. For my first book, I have This Is How You Lose the Time War. This is by Amal El-Mohtar and Max Gladstone. Let me zoom in on it for you there. So pretty. But this is my copy. You might notice there's no library stickers on it because I know that this is what I'm going to reread again and again. I'm going to write all over it. I'm very excited for it. So this is a very short book, so I'm probably going to use it for my speed skating badge, which is a book under 250 pages. This is only 198. And this book is about time travelers, hence the title. They are on opposite sides of the time war, and they start to leave letters for each other. And it starts out as like friendly banter competition, and then it gradually becomes more and more and has consequences for the entire timeline. So I've heard a lot about this book. The writing in it is absolutely beautiful. I've read a lot of excerpts. I cannot wait to get started on this one. I probably should have saved it because it is the one that I'm the most excited for. I'll be starting this day 1 of the challenge, so I'll let you guys know if it's worth all of the hype, but I'm thinking it's going to be. Next up, we have this book. This is The Forest of Stolen Girls by June Her. I'll zoom in on it so you can see all the pretty art. Oh, I'm covering up her face. There you go. So this is going to be my historical fiction novel for the bobsleigh badge, and this is a young adult mystery book that takes place in 1400s in Korea. So it's an era that I know absolutely nothing about. I'm really excited to get to learn about it in this book. And there are some, with a lot of these historical fiction, there's like little notes at the end about the context. So I'm hoping that it will teach me something about Korean history, about that part of the world, and about that time period. I just don't know much about it. And luckily, it's a super cool story to go with it, because this book is about these girls in a small village in Korea start to go missing, including our main character and her sister. But when the main character and her sister come back, and the rest of the girls don't, their father decides to go out and go looking for them, and then he disappears too. And it's up to the girls to figure out what happened, what's going on, and they start to recover these memories of what happened that imply some not good things. So it's a mystery, it's historical, it's pretty spooky, and it's just a really cool setting, and if nothing else, it's a beautiful cover. So I'm very excited for this one. We have a couple copies of this, so if you're intrigued by it, there will be a link to the catalog in the description, and you can go and put yourself on hold for it. But that is The Forest of Stolen Girls by June Her. For our young adult badge, I am the young adult librarian, so of course I was going to do that one. I know I said I'm most excited for book 1, which was This Is How You Lose the Time War, but I lied. I think I might be more excited for this one. I've been badgering the back office for when this was going to be done processing so that I could get my hands on it, and it's finally here. So this is You Brought Me the Ocean. Focus on the book. Thank you. This is You Brought Me the Ocean by Sanchez. He's the writer, and then the artist is Julie I meant to look this up again. I'm pretty sure it's Maroh. It might be Julie Maroh. I apologize to this incredible illustrator because the art is gorgeous and I'm terrible and forgot to look up how to pronounce her name. But anyway, this is a graphic novel, as you can see. And it is about Jackson Hyde, who is Aqualad. He's like Aquaman's Robin, basically. He goes his whole life living in the desert, basically, living nowhere near the ocean, not really wanting anything to do with water because his father drowned in the ocean when he was little. But then he's a teenager and things start to change, as they do. And he starts realizing that he can do some interesting things with water, like make it move around, which most people can't do, not for lack of trying. But he starts to learn more and more about his past and where he comes from and about these weird powers that he has. And also at the same time, there's a love story because it's YA. Of course, there's a love story. But I've heard really good things about this. I love this character. I think he's a lot of fun. I really enjoy him in the comics. And DC Comics is doing a lot of these now where they're reimagining their characters in like young adult graphic novels that are kind of separate from their superhero stories. They've done one for Harley Quinn that was really good. There was one for Dick Grayson, who's the first Robin. There was one for him that I really enjoyed, and one for Mr. Freeze that I read that was very YA, but it was a good time. So, but I've been really enjoying that run, and I'm excited that there's an Aqualad one. There should always be more Aqualad content, so I will let you guys know if it is worth the hype. But I'm very excited for it. This will probably be my second one. Poor Forest of Stolen Girls is going to have to wait so long for me to get to it, but that's okay. You only have to read 3 books to finish the challenge, but I wanted to give myself a 4th option because I have 2 really short books. One of them's a graphic, so I'm probably going to read 4. But I also wanted to have an option in case I ended up hating one of them. I don't foresee that happening, but just in case, I want to be able to quit. So my 4th book, my optional book, is Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. Let me zoom in on that. Look how pretty she is. I love the art on this. This is going to be my figure skating badge, my pretty cover badge, if I do end up finishing it. I'm definitely going to read this at some time this year. It just might not be during February because I love books like this. One of my top books that I read last year was 1,000 Ships by Natalie Haynes, which is a retelling of the Trojan War, but from the perspective of the women. And then one of my favorite books of all time is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, which is a retelling of Achilles. And I love books like this. I love the myth retellings. I love that it's, I feel like it's a good spot to jump in if you're in a reading slump because I already know how these stories go. I know like the big plot beats, but it's like a fun new way of doing it. So it's pretty easy read to dive into. And I'm expecting the same thing from this. So this is about Ariadne, she's the girl from the Minotaur myth who gives him the ball of string to help Theseus like get his way through the maze and back out. She's that one. But this takes place after the Minotaur myth. They cover that in like the first like chapter or so, and then they move on from there. And the rest of the book is about her relationship with her sister, with her husband, I think it is. Yeah, her husband, who is Dionysus, the god of wine, and one of my favorites. He's always fun when he shows up. And it's just about them like kind of learning how to live after this has happened and the consequences of the actions of the heroes in these myths and what it means to be the woman in these stories, which is always, it's very fun. This gets compared a lot to Circe by Madeline Miller. Again, my girl Madeline, I love her. But it's one I think I'm definitely going to enjoy. It's probably going to be on some book club lists too and some end of year lists. I think it was on a couple end of year lists last year. I'm not sure the publication date. But one I'm very excited to check out and that I would recommend you check out too. So that was Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. Okay, so those are my books that I will be reading. Here they are again, all of them. Oh, I just hit myself in the glasses. I don't know if you can see them all, but there they are. That's what I'll be reading during February. I hope that gave you a couple of ideas. If you still don't really know what to read, that's okay. We have a lot more book lists coming all February long, so there will always be another option for you. And if you ever need help, you can of course ask one of your lovely librarians as well. If you would like to sign up for the challenge, you can go to ldrl.org/beanstack. There's a link down there or up there, depending on what website you're watching this on, or maybe over there somewhere. There's a link. Go find it and hit it. And then you can sign up for the Olympics Reading Challenge. It's open to ages 18 and older. It'll be running from January 31st until March 4th, I think. It's like the last full week where February ends. And all you have to do is read 3 books during the month and you will earn your golden completion badge, make your way onto the podium, bring glory to your, I was going to say country, but we're all in the same country, so to your household, whatever, and have a good time reading. So please let us know what you will be reading during February. Let us know if you are wanting to read any of these, and please do read them so that we can talk about them. And I think that's it. So I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching and happy reading. Bye.